You know what I'm here for.
Back on top, punching the clock, clutching sanity.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back. I got to watch a lot of basketball last night, so I got some things to talk about. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and let's get into it. I mentioned a few times on this channel how high I am on Dejounte Murray. I just remember watching him last season, you know, here and there, and I was just very impressed with the way that his game has developed. And going into this season, I had pretty good expectations for him too, and he's really exceeded that. I think he should be an all-star. If I were to vote right now, I'll probably have him on my all-star roster for the Western Conference. He's been that good this season, and he's really been the catalyst for the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are not that talented of a team, but I believe they're only like a game or two back out of the 10th seed, so they're competing for the play-in, and a lot of that is due to Dejounte Murray play, man. He's been playing exceptional basketball on both ends of the floor. He's averaging near a triple-double. He had a great game last night, a triple-double against the Clippers, in which the Spurs went on the road to LA and dominated the Clippers in pretty elite fashion. I mean, it was up by 30 points, I think, heading into the fourth quarter. It was really a dominant game. Dejounte, I think, had 24, 13, and 12 assists. He's been putting up stat lines like that all season long. I think he's tied for the league lead in triple-doubles. He's been crazy so far. And I just feel like he's somebody that's just not really talked about a lot. Maybe it's because he plays for the Spurs, but he doesn't get that much attention, man, from, you know, national media. And just, I think, you know, basketball fans in general don't really appreciate how great this man has been, you know, this year. Somebody definitely keep an eye on him, man, because I think if he's an all-star, don't be surprised. That's what I'm gonna say. But I think he should be an all-star right now if we were to vote. He's been so consistent. He's been there every single night for the Spurs, playing great basketball both ends of the floor, still playing very good defense. And just the way his offensive game has developed over the last, you know, 3 years it's crazy, man. It's crazy. He's become a legit, like, #1 scoring option. He's been very good for the Spurs. Since we're talking about big guards, Tyrese Haliburton, man, super impressive. The Kings lost to the Warriors last night. They did. Shout out to the Warriors for getting that win. They're dealing with a bunch of, like, people out. Wiggins was out. Jordan Poole was out. Kuminga started last night, but he only played 6 minutes. I think he got hurt. So they're dealing with some stuff, but they're able to win. Nice team effort from them. Draymond had a triple-double. Great game from him. But Tyrese Haliburton, man, he impressed me. The Sacramento Kings really... he impressed me. The Kings did not, but Tyrese really did impress me. De'Aaron Fox has been out the last few games, and we've been seeing some point Tyrese Haliburton, and it's been very good. It's been very good. It raises the question of, well, would the team be better building around Tyrese instead of De'Aaron Fox? Because the two together, I mean, individually they can play well, but just as a, you know, team, it just doesn't really work out as well. We saw that last year. That's why Tyrese was coming off the bench for most of the season, and it's just, I don't know, it really raises the question, man. You can get a lot for De'Aaron Fox. I think he's still somebody, even though this season's not as, you know, De'Aaron Fox standards, he's still somebody that can bring back a lot of value, somebody that, you know, has the potential to be an all-star someday. And, you know, it just always raises the question, like, you could trade him for a Ben Simmons. Maybe that is the top-tier player that, you know, Daryl Morey would be willing to trade for. And Ben Simmons would probably help the Kings a lot because they're a bad defensive team. And Ben Simmons can come in and fill in a lot of those gaps. You can allow Tyrese to play on the ball a lot more. And he's more than just a facilitator, man. I mean, he was showing the full bag last night offensively. He can score the ball too. And he's, like, this season, he's had a lot of games where he's had 10, 11 assists. I've seen that a lot where he's had like 10, 11 assist games, showing that he can be a really good playmaker while also being an efficient scorer. So it raises the question. I want to know what Kings fans think. Like, would you be willing to build around Tyrese? Because I think you could build a very good team around Tyrese Haliburton. Around De'Aaron Fox, I'm not too sure. I mean, you tried to build this for now 4 or 5 years, and it just hasn't worked out the way that you wanted to. And you could get back some good pieces for De'Aaron Fox if you were to make that trade. So, Kings fans, if you're watching this, let me know what you think. The Celtics always find a way to just ruin my night. They always find a way. They played the 76ers last night. It was a back-and-forth game. Shout out to Joel Embiid because he probably had the most quiet 40 points that I've ever seen. Like, I didn't realize the man had 40 points until after I checked the box score after the game. But he was pretty consistent, pretty dominant all night. And he iced the game with 3 mid-range jump shots in a row. Like, he hit 3 straight mid-range jump shots from pretty much the same spot on the floor. Enes Freedom, since he changed his name, he could not do anything with Joel. The Celtics definitely missed Al Horford and Rob Williams last night. But I mean, both teams were kind of missing a lot of pieces. Tyrese Maxey did not play. I mean, Philly had a bunch of dudes playing, like Charles Bassey was playing. I didn't know Miles Powell was on the 76ers, but he was playing. Shout out to him for getting some PT. And Bruno Fernando was playing for the Celtics. We seen a lot of Peyton Pritchard last night. It was a mess for both teams. Both teams were playing a lot of guys that don't usually get minutes. So it was a weird game, but shout out to Joel Embiid for dominating. For the Celtics, hard to gauge. I mean, they play really well for a stretch, but this team just kind of struggles to close games sometimes. And last night was one of those, instances. The offense was just kind of poor in the last, 2.5 minutes. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum were kind of here and there during the game. Like, they would have stretches where they played really well, then they would have stretches where they did not play too great. Dennis Schroeder was not amazing. Yeah, tough game, but you're missing, two of your most important defensive bigs, or your two most important defensive bigs. Grant Williams also did not play, so you're missing a lot. Josh Richardson, who just had 27 points a few nights ago, also did not play. So you're missing a lot of pieces. I'm sure the season will be fine, but weird stretch right now. You're kind of in the middle of the pack still. I think a game or two under 500, so it's not looking amazing, but hopefully it can get better. And also, Seth Curry is like the second best player for Philly. He was killing last night. He was hitting some crazy shots, especially in that first half, man. He was dominating. Another game, I didn't watch the entirety of this one, but I was able to watch like the last 5 minutes, which is really all I needed to see, man. The OKC Thunder got their revenge against the Grizzlies. Ja Morant comes back and the Grizzlies lose. Kind of, funny, I guess, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Fans were saying to Ja that we're better without you because they ended up losing this game, and he kind of took offense to that. So, interesting, man. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. First game back, I'm not too worried about Ja Morant. He only played like 28 minutes. But I want to talk about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander because the last like week of the season, he's just done some clutch stuff, like some real clutch stuff. He hit that like basically half-court shot to tie the game, which was followed up by Devontae Grant's full-court game winner. Then the next game, he hit a sidestep game winner over Nicholas Batum at the buzzer. And then last night, he made like 4 plays down the stretch, which helped win this game. I think he had a bucket off an inbounds play. He had a steal. And then he hit a couple free throws too. And he did something else. I think he had an assist. Like, he made a lot of plays down the stretch, which helped ice this game. He's just somebody that, like, Bleacher Report loves to disrespect when they make those top 24 lists, under 24 and stuff like that. I think they had him ranked at like 23rd or something crazy like that. Ridiculous. But Shai, he shows why he's one of the best young talents in the league. Even though this is kind of a down year for him, he's still very impactful. And shout out to Josh Giddey. I don't think we really talked about Josh Giddey much on this channel, but I got to watch last night, and he's had a few games in a row where he's just been very impactful. I believe the other night he had like 18 rebounds in the game, which is ridiculous. Last night he had 11 assists. I think that ties their career high, so he's had an 11 assist game before this season. He's been playing really well, man. Shout out to Josh Giddey. Somebody coming into, his rookie year that we didn't really know much about, and we didn't know what to expect, but he's been very good this season. I didn't watch really much Bulls-Rockets, but the Bulls got their revenge. They beat the Rockets, who had beat them a few weeks ago. I'm going to just say DeMar DeRozan is still killing, man. He came back off of the COVID list and dropped 38 against the Lakers. He had 26 last night. He's just been playing very good basketball. But the last game was actually a very compelling finish, even though Utah was able to, finish off the Hornets. But, I mean, the Hornets were down 22 points, and they were able to come back. They took a lead briefly, and then the Jazz went on, like, a nice run to end the game. What I'm going to say for both of these teams, I'm going to keep it short. The Hornets need to be calling the Pacers' phones every single day to ask about Miles Turner, and they need to make that move ASAP because Rudy Gobert dominated last night. I think he shot like 16 or 17 free throws. And he actually shot good from the free throw line. I think he only missed 1 free throw last night. So he shot the free throw really well, but he was dominating. He also had like 20 rebounds. He was killing Mason Plumlee, man. Mason Plumlee's not enough, man. You got to go get Miles Turner. You have to. You have to. And the Jazz had like 70 rebounds as a team. That's unheard of. They had like 70 rebounds as a team. You got to go get Miles Turner. And if you're the Jazz, I'm stuck on this Jeremy Grant idea. If you can pull that off, please do it. Call Detroit every day. Try and make that trade because he would help this team out a ton. Despite all the people out with COVID right now, last night's games were pretty good. Got a lot to talk about. Once again, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be back to talk more hoops with y'all hopefully tomorrow. But I'm out. Peace.
Off season. Let's work. Hey, plotting my escape this game.